so you can pump me up. So you can pump me up. Do you need to be pumped up, or are you self-motivated? I think it's a really important question, particularly if you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, or a leader. We have to be self-motivated, don't we? If we're relying on somebody else to motivate us, inspire us, what if they don't show up? So are you the person that people can rely on to be positive, optimistic, a solution finder, always look on the bright side? Or are you the person that is miserable and grumpy, pessimistic, and needs to be pumped up? And there's a really interesting thing about needing to be pumped up. What if there's a hole in the tyre? Have you ever dealt with people like that, where you've motivated and inspired them, and the conversation started off where they were miserable and depressed and grumpy and down, and then they chatted with you and they became more inspired and happy and more positive due to the conversation with you. But then as you hung up the phone, or as they walked away, you could almost feel the air coming out. Because some people need to be inspired, some people need to be motivated. There's other people that can't afford for that to happen. And that's my very personal question. So we live in a world where there are a lot of demotivated people. There are a lot of people who are unhappy, depressed, angry about life. Do they need our inspiration, or how do we inspire people to be self-motivated? And I think that's the really big one. A lot of people say, particularly because I'm an exercise professional, so people will say, can you tell me what to eat and can you tell me how to exercise? And my answer is always the same: hell no. Is it time for you to take responsibility for your own body? If I tell you what to eat and I tell you how to exercise, what if I'm not there? What if another guru comes along and they say something different to me? Then who do you believe then? Would it be a really good idea to become self-educated so that you can be self-motivated and self-inspired to get your body into great shape? And there's just a simple example. So do you need somebody to inspire you and motivate you, or are you the person that is self-motivated? And to get other people to do that, for me, is just a very simple answer. Be the living, breathing example of that. So I use this as a very personal thing. When people ask me how I am, and it's very rare now because they usually say this: I don't need to ask you how you are, Rowie, because I know that you are happy, positive, having a great day, you're awesome, you're amazing. And is that true? There are some days when I'm not awesome and I'm not amazing and I'm not on top of the world. Very rare, but that doesn't happen every day. But I would never share that with anybody else. Because if I'm the person that people are relying on to be motivated and inspired, and I'm now the one that's grumpy or miserable, then I can't be a living, breathing example. Now, the reverse of that is if somebody asks me how I am, and I say I'm miserable and tired and grumpy, then I'm telling myself that. If somebody asks me how I am and I say I'm awesome, amazing, fantastic, and brilliant, even if I'm not, I'm more likely to change my headspace. Would that be fair? So rather than dumping our stuff on other people, even if you are having a bad day, even if you are miserable, even if you are grumpy, even if you have got terrible stuff going on in your life, could it be a really good idea to keep that stuff to yourself? Sort it out for yourself. And there's a great question. If you are going through a tough time and you overcome that tough time, will you be better, stronger, wiser? Will you be able to handle tough times in the future better because you've handled this one? So I'm always in that situation. Doesn't matter what I'm going through. How can I deal with this? How can I get through this? How can I overcome this challenge? How can I become better, stronger, wiser because of this challenge? Because next time I don't want to fall down in a heap. And I've got people relying on me not to fall down in a heap. So if that's you, if you're the person that is a parent, a teacher, a boss, a leader, a coach, a pastor, somebody that people look up to or look to be inspired by and motivated by, my answer is always this. When people say, Rowie, can you motivate me? My answer is always no, because what if I don't show up? But what can we do to get you self-motivated? What do we have to do to make sure that you are self-educated, self-inspired, so that you can work this all out for yourself? And surely that's a choice. So this is a very confrontational and harsh question, but don't we get to choose? We get to choose, if we have a tough time, to fall down in a heap and stay down. Some people fall down and get back up again, but there are some of us that don't have a choice for that. If we get knocked, if tough times happen, if there's a horrible thing that happens in our life, we don't have a choice to fall down and stay down, fall down, get back up again. We have to stay standing. And I want to live and breathe that example for other people so they can see it's possible. So that's my choice, but you have a choice too, don't you? We all have a choice on how we're going to live our life. Are we going to be the depressed, grumpy, miserable person that needs to be pumped up and inspired, or are we going to be the person that does the inspiring? And I would again ask very, very, this is my begging position, as I always say, I don't want to inspire people. I want to live the example of an inspired person. I want to live the example of a self-motivated, self-educated, self-disciplined human being so that people can see that it's possible to do that. Now that's a choice. And as humans, isn't it awesome that we get to choose? If we were an animal, we'd have to run on instinct. It's interesting though, because I don't think there's too much grumpiness, miserableness, depression going on in the animal world. It's all about survival and it's all about living. And that's how I want to live my life. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. I want to live my life every single day and love every single day, regardless of what happens. And I think, again, that's a choice because we're all going to have tough times. Stuff's going to happen. There's going to be bad weather. The government's going to do stupid stuff. There's going to be horrible people that do nasty, terrible things. But we get to choose how we respond or react. Now, if we react, that's not a good thing. If we respond, which is get stronger, tougher, better, wiser because of that tough time, then surely the people that could be watching us, the people that are relying on us to be motivated, inspiring, and disciplined, they can see that it's possible. So do you need to be pumped up, or are you the person that can do the pumping? Or even better, are you living the example of a person that doesn't need to be pumped up, doesn't need to be inspired, so that other people can see that it's possible? It's a personal question, it's a tough question, but if you are a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, a leader, is it possible that you, like me, do not have a choice? You have to be a self-motivated, self-inspired, self-educated, self-disciplined human being so that you can live your life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max.